It's easy for me to feel guilty when I'm not sitting here in front of my computer creating something. You know, if I'm not working on a YouTube video or working on a post for social media or firing up stream, it feels like time wasted. It feels like a wasted opportunity. And I feel bad about it. And, you know, instinctively in my head, I go to that place of feeling like I'm going to fall behind or, you know, I'm doing something wrong. As it turns out, though, the time that we spend away from our computer, the time that we spend focusing just on ourselves and our rest and our health is just as important, if not more important, than the time we actually spend here actively working on things. So let's dive into it. Let's talk about sleep today and really break this down. All right, first of all of the information today is pulled from sleepfoundation.org. I literally just Googled what happens when you sleep. We're using this website in particular. It's very concise. It has a lot of great information on it. So let's go ahead and actually dive into the science behind sleep, and then we'll talk about why it's so important for us. Right off the bat, it talks about the amount of sleep that we need to get, okay? To get the most out of sleep, both quantity and quality are important. Teens need at least 8 hours, and on average 9.25 hours a night of uninterrupted sleep to leave their bodies and minds rejuvenated for the next day. If sleep is cut short, the body doesn't have time to complete all of the phases needed for muscle repair, memory consolidation, and release of hormones regulating growth and appetite. Then we wake up less prepared to concentrate, make decisions, or engage fully in school and social activities. The verbiage there at the end is definitely catered more towards teenagers and maybe not so much for older content creators like myself in my mid-30s. But the principles of what they discuss there are completely applicable to content creators of any age, right? It is important to take time at the end of the day, step away from what we're working on, rest, so that we can heal our minds and our bodies and come back the next day to continue working on these projects. I think a lot of the times there's this burden of feeling like you have to finish what you started at the beginning of the day or at the beginning of the week. And yes, does it feel good to get those things checked off our list? Absolutely. But the project will still be there tomorrow if we don't finish today. And a lot of the times it's actually better to step away mid-project, process what you've worked on so far, and then come back and finish the project out strong. Now, let's actually talk about what happens when we're sleeping. So here are the 4 stages in one between being awake and falling asleep. So like when we're actually just laying down in bed and starting to doze off. In 2 is when sleep actually comes into play. Onset of sleep, becoming disengaged from surroundings, breathing and heart rate or regular body temperature drops. In 3, and this is where it gets really, really fascinating and important, deepest and most restorative sleep. Blood pressure drops, breathing becomes slower, muscles are relaxed, blood supply to muscles increases, tissue growth and repair occurs, energy is restored, hormones are released such as growth hormone, essential for growth and development, including muscle development. And finally, REM sleep, which I think we're all mostly familiar with. This is the most common term that I've heard out there. First occurs about 90 minutes after falling asleep and recurs about every 90 minutes, getting longer later in the night. Provides energy to the brain and body, supports daytime performance, brain is active and dreams occur, eyes dart back and forth, hence rapid eye movement, and body becomes immobile and relaxed as muscles are turned off. In addition, levels of hormone cortisol dip at bedtime and increase over the night to promote alertness in the morning. Okay, so essentially what happens with this sleep cycle is your REM sleep occurs about every 90 minutes, and then it gets longer as the night goes on. But after REM sleep, you go back and you start to go through these stages again, right? You go through N1, 2, and 3 again, and then you hit REM sleep again. So this cycle of sleep, if you get an average of 8 hours a night, will occur 4 times throughout the night. And this is important, right? It's necessary to get that time to heal. I've talked to a lot of content creators about this who, you know, they get on average 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night. And sometimes it's unavoidable, right? You know, a lot of people who I know who are streaming and trying to make it on YouTube and stuff, they're also parents and they're working full time. And it's just, I mean, they have to operate 18, 19 hours out of the day because they have that many responsibilities and it's just unavoidable. But if there is any way that you can step away and get that 8 hours of sleep a night, it is so important to do so. And even if we're not parents, right, there are a lot of people out there, maybe we have anxieties that we're dealing with during the day that are keeping us up at night. Maybe we just have a lot going on in our personal agendas and we are just constantly bouncing from one thing to another, which can lead to that feeling of feeling guilty and like you're being non-productive when you're not actively creating or doing something. But it's so important to try and fight against that mentality, right? As creators, it's just as important for us to rest and recover and then come back the next day as it is to sit there and create. I love at the end of this article, they talk about the 1/3 of our lives that we spend sleeping, far from being unproductive, plays a direct role in how full, energetic, and successful the other 2/3 of our lives can be. I love that statement right there because it really drives home this idea that yes, when you think about there's 24 hours in a day, oh my gosh, I'm gonna commit 8 hours of that to sleep, and it's mind-boggling, but it's also really important, right? Because then that makes the other 16 hours that much better. That means you can accomplish that much more with that time. So yes, we always want to be moving forward. Yes, we always want to be in motion and hustling and chasing the goal and making progress. But I encourage you, please take some time away. Make yourself a priority. Rest and relax. Whatever you're working on right now is gonna be there tomorrow, and we can tackle those goals then. Hey, thanks for coming by for this video. I had a lot of fun researching this, actually. Again, this was all from sleepfoundation.org, but if you just Google what happens when we sleep, a ton of different information is available online. I encourage you to go check some of it out because it is important. Remember, rest and relaxation. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. And if you want to support the channel, please subscribe and ring the notification bell. That helps me out in a big way. I do also stream over on Twitch, twitch.tv/MoRains. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and would love to see you over there and a part of the community. So I'll link that in the description below. But come on over and let's chat and play some video games together. I hope you have a great day. I hope you get a good night's rest, and I'll see you on the next one.